129. And a lot of trail brake. Alright guys, welcome back. We're going to have another fun one today. Today we're going to be reviewing an A90 Supra. We're out here at Thunderhill with On-Grid, and it's going to be a fun day. It's going to be the first time I get to track a Supra, and the first time I'm out here at Thunderhill. So today's going to be an incredible day. You guys hang out with me. Let me know what you think. Drop some comments below, and we're going to have another fun one. Alright, let's get going. Wristband. Wristband. Okay. Alright, so one of the things I like about the A90, like I was saying, is if you want a street car, you have a street car. If you want a drift car, it'll do a drift for you. If you want a track car, it does that well too. So we're gonna get the tires warmed up here. We're gonna go around the track. I'll talk about Thunderhill a little bit, and I'll talk about how this specific A90 feels. I've taken it out on another shakedown session, trying to get a little feel for it. We're gonna get some temp in the tires. It's a cold day out here today, and attempt not to get in the way of all these Miatas. That little hill there still scares me. So we're gonna let the two Miatas go by us, because that's the fun thing about them. They may not have the straight line power, but once they get by, they're fast. So we're still gonna warm up the tires, maybe do 2 laps of warm up, and then after that push the car just a little harder. You'll notice with Thunderhill there's a couple corners here that are just really blind, and they're hard to see. Tires aren't quite up to temp yet. I think we're gonna have to do another lap, let them get up to temp, let the Miatas run away from us. I like his wide line through here. Is going to run away from the 350 until that 350 gets his tires warmed up. Alright, so let's talk about this A90. This one specifically has a little front brake, needs a lot more front brakes on it. I know the owner for this one has it on street brakes, so you know, the fact that it's on street brakes, it is definitely not going to have the optimal braking for out here on the track. They're adequate, and they'll do what they need to do out here, but under a really heavy track day, they're just not going to last. I noticed after like 3-4 hot laps that the front brakes are pretty much done. The pedal's soft, everything else, so it needs a set of race pads, needs a brake flush, you know, with some good RBF in it, or you know. So coming over this hill, I still don't trust it. The car handles really well. Owner has it on some H&R Springs. The H&R Springs do really well for just being springs. Tire wise, he's on, I think, some some Nitto NT 550s or 555s, I think is what they are in the back. They do pretty well. Again, for, you know, a random weekend track day, this car is fine for that. Now, it really wouldn't take much to make this into like a track monster. For me, I would throw this on a set of full coilovers, a really aggressive pad, you know, pad compound for the brakes, and just get at it. The seats actually feel really well. Surprising for stock seats. I mean, we all know they're heavy because they're stock seats, but they hold me actually really well. And then this is where the Supra really shines. It's fast. I mean, I'm 130 down, almost 130 down the straight. I'm sure if I take the first corner a little bit better, I'll be 130 down that straight. It holds a nice corner through here. Mustang driving that car. He put that in the dirt a little bit going through there. The left to right handling on it feels really good as I come through. The tires and the suspension hold real good. I think the weak point on the car is really just the front brakes. If you were just looking for, you know, the way it's set up right now, if you were just looking for, you know, an every now and then weekend fun car, this would do it for you. You wouldn't have any problems with it. I think we're going to eat up the little 335. It really shouldn't be any faster than us. He gave up. So this is the weak point right here of the car. I have to brake early, but overall it handles really well, and with just a couple slight things it would be a monster. Let's see when we get down on the straight. And of course I'm lifting a little early and I'm slowing down a little early because, yeah, it was 129. And a lot of trail brake. That was definitely the deepest I've put the car so far through that corner. It held pretty good. The brakes, I weren't sure if they were going to stop me, so I was like, let me see where it gets us. We'll do this last hot lap and then come in on a cool down. But let me know what you guys think of the car. Let me know what you think of the Supra. I mean, do you guys have the same opinion where you think the car is actually, you know, a do-everything car, or, you know, is it just one thing or the other? As I've said in a couple of my other videos, I really think the Toyota lineup is really impressive. you know, overall, you've got the new GR, you've got the Corolla, which the Corolla looks amazing for what it's supposed to do for performance and everything else, and then you have the Supra up on the top. So I still have to get used to where that corner is. And then I think third's probably a better spot right here. One thing I have to say though is I do miss a manual. So the new A92 that's coming out in a manual, I really want to drive and see how that does. And just see what it feels like driving a manual. Because I think a manual would be the optimal. Alright. So we're going to do a cool down lap. Bring it in. I really don't trust the front brakes on this car. So a couple hot laps, that's about it. Alright guys, so drop some comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the Supra. Let me know what you think about Thunderhill. Thunderhill's really interesting. It overall is a tight track. It's a lot smaller than it looks on video. I had watched a couple videos before I came out and was like, oh, okay, cool, there's plenty of room, this, that. But there really isn't. Like, the course width is actually really small. So passing is very tight on this course. Cornering is actually really tight. It's kind of like doing a really fast canyon run. Something with a lot of elevation change and everything else. But it's a fun track. It's scary is not the word. It's just it's a little hairy when you're coming up over the elevation changes because they're off camber and they're blind. So it makes it really interesting to like come over it, carry speed, you know, and have that confidence going through. But it's cool. For my first time out here, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm super happy I got to do it in the A90. So all right guys, thanks for hanging out to the end. What'd y'all think about the A90? If you guys couldn't tell, I really enjoyed this car. I really think that the A90 is kind of that do-everything car. If you just want a car that looks good, in my opinion, I think it does. Wheels, suspension, you know, hey, it looks great. If you want a car that drifts, it'll drift. If you want a car that go to the track, as you saw, has no problem going to the track. I think the only thing it's missing, and Toyota's already solving this, is a manual. And I think Toyota listened to the enthusiasts, and you know, that's why they're coming out with one. So overall, I think that's really the only thing this car was missing, was a manual. Or the A90 in general, I think, is all that it's missing is a manual. This car specifically, I think the only shortcoming it really had that I was kind of disappointed with on the track is it's got stock pads, stock brake pads, and the front pads definitely give out. I would get about 3, maybe 4 hot laps in it, and then I just didn't really have any more braking. So it's an easy fix. You throw a set of hot, you know, race pads in it, you throw some, you know, brake flush with some RBF 600, 660, whatever it is that you like, and that solves that. It's super easy. Now for a street car, if you were only going to take it to the track every now and then, the street pads might be enough for you. It would be one of those things. It just really depends on how hard you're driving the car. But again, it's an easy fix. Throw some hot pads in it and you're done. overall, the car drives great. It's on a set of H&R Springs, but the H&R Springs are adequate. Again, if you're only doing track days every now and then, the springs are more than enough for you. Because every other thing is, you know, every other day in it, just being on H&Rs is fine. If you were at the track all the time, then again, you'd throw some coilovers in it. You'd throw something with more adjustability. You'd throw something where you can adjust the dampening. But for something that you're just going to take to the track every now and then, this setup works great. Transmission, DCT, stock interior, seats fit good. It's really hard for me to knock anything on the Supra. You guys comment below. If you guys think that there's something that the A90's missing, let's talk about it. Throw that in below. But really, overall, I really enjoyed this car. It was plenty fast enough for Thunderhill. It was plenty fast enough for this track. If it had full suspension, full brakes, and then at the end I was like, oh, then I want some power. The B58 in this makes power. So, okay, let me go get an E85 tune and make a gob more power out of it. You know, I make an extra 100 horse easy. So, like, it'll even make power for you. But yeah, so if you guys couldn't tell, I really enjoyed it. It did really well on the track. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you guys have another car you want me to review, drop it in the comments below. If you actually have a car you want me to review that you own, hey, hit me up, DM me on my IG. We'll talk about it. We'll see if we can set up something, whether or not we take it out and shoot it, go drive it up through canyons, or bring it out to the track. Let me know what you think. If you're new to my channel, thanks for hanging out to the end. If you've been with me for a while, as always, I appreciate your support. We're gonna keep growing this channel. At this point, I'm at like 950 subs. It's awesome. I'm almost to 1,000 subs already. So I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate you getting the word out there, and we'll keep growing this together. All right, you guys, let me know what you think, and we're gonna head out to the next one. All right, thanks. What's that?
Easily over 100 on that one.
Yeah.
Just like that.
If this lines up right here, it'll do 130. Easy. I just have to get a good jump at the beginning.